This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6, in the words of the Holy Scriptures. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit down lesson that I'm about to bring out with these two news articles amending the tensions with the Russia-Ukraine situation as the United States send more and additional military aid assistance and military money aid assistance to the Ukraine of the Russian-Ukraine situation. And this is a news article from Reuters.com, published by Mike Stone, August the 7th, 2023, at 5:39 p.m., updated hours ago. And it reads, U.S. to sends Kyiv first 200 million of arms free by 60.2 billion account error. Right, I remember that account error I'll say 2.5 months ago. Now some of that 200 million out of 6.2 million was freed up. So the United States and the additional 200 million in arms of military aid assistance to Ukraine. And this is President Joe Biden. Biden's administration announced 200 million of new weapons aid for Ukraine as soon as Tuesday, U.S. officials told Reuters, as it begins to doze out the 6.2 billion of funds discovered after a Pentagon account error overvalued billions of Ukraine aid, the two U.S. officials said on Monday. In May, the Pentagon announced it had mistakenly assigned a higher than warrant value to the U.S. weaponry ship to Kyiv when staff used replacement value instead of depreciated value to tabulate the billions worth ammunition, missiles, and other equipment sent to Ukraine. It says Ukraine needs weaponry that can be shipped from the U.S. stock in a matter of days or weeks so it can keep up its fight to repel Russia's invasion. The account error worked to Kyiv's benefit because more weapons can be sent. Beginning to use these discovery funds insignificant because they represent the last of the previous congressional authorized 25.5 billion worth of president's drawdown authority. The PDA administration can utilize to ship weapons from U.S. stocks in a event of an emergency, the U.S. officials say. Go to the other news article. Let's see. Slocky. If I can be able to bring it up. Oh, this is the other news article right here. And this news article from RT.com. As I mentioned again, as the Russia-Ukraine situation continues to intensify now, so more than ever. This is from RT.com as of August the 7th, 2023. From RT.com, Alternative World News, and it reads, Washington approves the first Abrams tank delivery to Kyiv. The U.S.-made heavy arm is due to arrive in Ukraine by early autumn, the Pentagon has said. Kyiv will get the first batch of U.S.-made Abrams tanks by early autumn, a senior Pentagon official told journalists on Monday. President Joe Biden initially promised the heavy equipment to Ukraine in January. The tanks are ready for delivery, The U.S. Armed Acquisition Chief Doug Bush told a news briefing the equipment pieces still have to first get to Europe and then get to Ukraine, along with all of the things that go with them, he added. As cited by CNN, Washington plans to provide the Ukraine forces with ammunition, spare parts, and fuel equipment for the tanks, which all to be sent within the same delivery. Bush said, so you know it's not just the tanks, it's just full pack that goes with it. I meant to say that that's still on track. He added, the U.S. has pledged of a total of 31 tanks of an equivalent of a Ukraine battalion in late July. Politico reported that only between 6 and 8 heavy weapon pieces might make it to Ukraine by September. It says, according to the Western media outlets, the U.S. Military began training Ukraine tank crews in Germany in May. The 10-week training course should wrap up in August, a Pentagon official told reporters. Originally, the Pentagon extended to use the modern M1A2 variant, but changed plans in March, opting for the older M1A1. Newsweek and Politico previously reported that the U.S. made tanks or to be stripped of any sensitive technology first before it can be handed over to Kyiv. The tanks might lose some of their most sophisticated electronics before sending combats in Ukraine, according to the Newsweek. The advanced equipment, which is due to be removed, reportedly including systems that offer some advantage to the gunner and the commander, as well as the duplicate Ukrainian armor. It says Washington has already supplied Kyiv around half of the 190 promised Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, the IFV. Many of them has since been destroyed or captured by Russian forces during a largely unsuccessful counteroffensive that was launched in early June. I remember I did a sit-down lesson on that. Get back to that Matthew's 24th chapter, verse 6. So as I mentioned, once again, now you have the United States deployed those Abrams tanks and added an additional 200 plus million in military aid assistance, which was froze due to the amount of the money error that the United States reportedly sent to Ukraine, and some of the some of that 200 million of that 600 million military aid assistance was been unfrozen, and that amount was being sent to Ukraine as of Tuesday, I believe. So that shows you the tensions with the Russia-Ukraine situation. It's only just going to intensify, heat up now some more than ever, as the United States deployed the Abrams tanks to so Ukraine can receive it. I believe they're going to receive it by first. Some of those tanks going to be shipped to Europe, Eastern Europe, and the tank's going to be sent as early as September. And then right along with the $200 million military aid arms assistance that the United States going to assist Ukraine by. So that's only going to intensify the Russia-Ukraine situation. So I just want to add an additional note to that. Once again, this is Matthew 24 in verse 6. And I'm going to read this again for edification's sake. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right. The current wars and rumors of wars with the Russia-Ukraine situation. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but that is not yet. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, or Karkadash, Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to Hakim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.